This is why I would like James Bond to be a TV series or something like that, because I would love to see a more developed. What is going on, guys? Welcome back. We're
back.
I'm Win.
I'm Will.
And today we're going to be talking about No Time to Die.
The final Daniel Craig James Bond. This is a big feature film.
Fad, guys?
Good, dude. What was that? Big feature film. God, what's it called?
Big feature film podcast.
Big feature film podcast. Episode 926. Just kidding.
Did you say that word?
I don't know. Did you? But anyways, as always, subscribe if you want more like this. I'm going to announce something, not announce, but I want to try something. So subscribe. And if we hit 200 subscribers by the end of the year, I'm going to shave my head. So just, I'm going to say that before every video now on and be like, maybe it'll, some like random clickers will subscribe. But yeah, sub if you want. It's pretty long, but it's just, you know.
Said, apparently, yeah.
So, but I also watch till the end. So you see our rating out of 10. We give them 2 ratings, critical and enjoyment. So make sure you stick to the end to see that. It's the last one. Like I said, I'm just going to read the IMDb thing because it's a long ass movie. 2 hours, 43 minutes, almost 3. I think it's the longest Bond.
I think so.
But James Bond has left active service. I feel like he's done that like 12 times. His piece is short-lived when Felix Lederer, an old friend from the CIA, turns up asking for help, leading Bond onto the trail of a mysterious villain armed with dangerous new technology. And yeah, that's the best way to put it. Let's do review stuff. Let's talk technical stuff. Pros and cons. What do you say? What do you say?
I want you to start. I don't know where to begin with the movie.
Before we even get started, I love this movie much more than Wynn did. It's common theme here.
I liked it more just because of the reviews.
I know that made me like it more. Yeah. And I think I have that. Yeah, I have that as a point. We'll talk about some interesting reviews we've seen for this movie,
or at least like the discrepancies that people had.
Yes.
While watching this movie.
I'll say right ahead, it's long, but I love that about movies, and especially with a character like James Bond. I love like a 2.5, 3 hour movie where we get this character and we feel him out, whether it's good or bad. Like, I'm just a sucker for it. Like, I love seeing characters and having them grow, and no matter how much or how little, I like it. I'm gonna say pros and a con. I'm gonna say the villain. I wasn't sold, but at the end, how they wrap stuff up, and we'll talk spoilers later, but like how they wrap stuff up, I loved it. And that was kind of a thing in the reviews. People didn't like it, but I did. And maybe I'm just not a big enough Bond fan. I don't know.
I think that is one thing that I liked about this movie, is that it's more of a Bond movie than a Bond versus villain.
Yeah, it really feels like, I don't like espionage movies, like, whatsoever. Like, I don't know.
Count this as espionage.
I know, but like, James Bond is supposed to be espionage. Yeah. But like, I don't like this genre in particular. Like, I've seen almost all the James Bond. I haven't seen Spectre, but the fact I could watch this and not have seen Spectre and still get it, that's a pro for me.
That did make it a little easier.
Yeah.
It does feel like this movie wasn't. It doesn't feel like this movie was a continuation of the previous one. It just felt like a new episode.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's kind of what James Bond has been over the years. It's been a TV show over 60 years, but like, we get recasted and stuff like that, and
retires, dies.
Yeah, and a new 007. I like all the, like, I guess, side characters, and again, it's partially because people didn't like those. Like our new 007, or what? Who was she played? Lashonna Lynch.
Yeah.
As Nomi. She's great. I liked her. She was a good parallel to Bond, and it was new and it's cool. I don't care what other people have to say.
Yeah, I was kind of into the fact that like she was the exact opposite of Bond, which
was,
exactly. You know, she was like on the books kind of stuff, not very flashy. Mm-hmm. She was hiding herself.
Yeah, and while Bond, and also just like physically completely different, like a black woman,
which apparently a lot of people didn't like.
Which woke. She's not a new Bond. It's not woke. She's just a different character. He retired. Like, they got a new 007. Get over yourself.
I think people just have a different definition of woke. I think like the way I think of woke is like something that like panders to the audience too much, and like has no reason to be
But
there.
yeah,
I mean, she doesn't technically have a reason to be there, but at the same time, it's not really woke because they didn't really try to do like,
they didn't force anything.
ooh, black people right here,
Or like
black woman.
there was
gay
one. We're
woman.
talking about the reviews, but like they said that Q was gay. Like they alluded to it. I'm like, and people got mad.
Think about that.
I know. I did at first. I didn't even notice it until I read the review. I'm like, oh yeah, they did. Like, but who cares? But back to pros and cons. Another pro and con, the cinematography. I thought it was great, but you said like they were trying too hard to be Roger Deakins and
Some shots.
yeah, and
I
like
know,
the lighting and stuff.
I will say though, like he does do a pretty good job. I'm not like hating on him.
Yes,
or anything like
they
that,
did
the
a great
cinematographer,
job.
But I do see like a Roger Deakins style in
Mm-hmm.
there, but you know that's pretty common nowadays, especially because Roger Deakins is an excellent
Yeah, I didn't
cinematographer. So
I didn't even know like all the stuff he did, but he's a good ass cinematographer.
yeah.
Oh, there's a pro for you though. Hans Zimmer score, excellent as
Didn't even
always.
notice.
So I would agree, but there was some the No Time to Die, like the Billie Eilish song. That's another one. The title sequence, like the Bond title.
That was probably the best title
that
sequence.
was so good.
That was really good.
And I'm sure there's something there because there was like the trident, and it looked like I think it's supposed to be somewhat of a Greek tragedy. Probably, I'm sure there's an allegory there somewhere.
Hero.
Yeah.
Yeah, I the sequence just from the beginning, I was really enticed. I was like, this is really nice. This
Even
feels like in time because I think they also did the same thing for the Avengers movies, where they not the sequence, but like the end credit scene where they would show like the 3D
oh, so cool
statue version.
And I thought about it. Well, that's the moment I realized this is the first Bond movie I've seen in theaters. I remember when I was real young, my mom was like, oh, you would like the James Bond movies, because she was going with a bunch of her friends for Daniel Craig.
Yeah.
And they're like, do you want to go? And I was like, I mean, I guess. And then she like, I guess decided not to take me. But I think that was Quantum of Solace. So
I think the first James Bond movie I've seen in the movie theater was Skyfall.
I wish I did. I love that movie so much.
I watched Skyfall with my dad. I remember first time seeing it, I was just kind of like, "Where's the cars?" Because like they had like a Range Rover and shit. Oh yeah, that reminds me. This chase sequence in the beginning for this movie, I think that was probably my favorite out of the whole James Bond series. I didn't think that they were gonna do that much with a car, but they really went with it. They really had it involved, almost like a tribute to Sean Connery's James Bond, because that was his car.
Because his car, yeah. So the cinematographer, really cool. Just to go back to that, is Linus Sandgren, and he's done La La Land, First Man, American Hustle. So I'd put some respect on his name.
No, I do. I just see like I think he was just like he was just on the fence of being like, do I want to do what Roger Deakins did, or do I like just do it my style? But you know, I think he did an excellent job regardless, because that's a big set piece.
It is. To deal with, and also just a long movie. I mean, it felt consistent, I'll say. And like the different moods to change, like that's a huge thing definitely with cinematography. So any other pros and cons you got? Honestly, the biggest con are my pros. Like the villain, I'm like 50-50 on. I was 50-50 on it until the end of the movie. The cinematography, same, but like more pro.
I think I only have maybe a couple.
I want to hear your cons. Yeah,
I kind of want to. I was kind of thinking of like Léa Seydoux. I like her. She's a great actor. She's incredible. But in this movie, she was just kind of like, I don't know why, but she didn't give off that vibe where she was like, I'm mad at James Bond. She gave a more like, I miss you more than anything. Yeah,
so it was Casino, Quantum, Skyfall, Spectre, No Time to Die.
I think she was in I think it was Quantum.
Was she?
Yeah. I don't remember her in Skyfall. She might have been. But yeah, her. I didn't like her character in this movie. I thought it was interesting that they gave James Bond a kind of child that I didn't really confirm in the movie.
Spoiler.
Well, it's not really confirmed.
No, it was.
She just said it has her eyes. But
no, they did at the end.
I guess.
They definitely
did.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
definitely were like hard, like confirmed. That's your girl.
I thought that was really interesting. It gave James Bond some kind of humanity.
Yeah.
And some connection to like being a person.
And
not just like the super soldier secret
like
guy, spy dude.
who
I
gets
don't
the
know.
girl gets.
Yeah.
That's another thing with the reviews. Like they're like, oh, there's a formula for Bond movies, and they messed it all up.
Oh, who
There's
gives a
not a.
shit?
He's a character, and like there's never been a
Here's-
formula for movies.
Here's my gripe with that, right? James Bond was created in World War II ish when the KGB stuff was happening, Soviet Russia, all that shit. Why would you want that over and over?
Yeah,
I mean, the thing is, the concept of James Bond's dead
Mm-hmm.
for sure. It's a digital age. Anyone can just spy on anybody.
yeah.
Like nobody gives a shit anymore if there's like James Bond shit.
Mm-hmm.
If they wanted to do like, if they wanted to actually pertain to that James Bond, you know, book version,
Yes,
they would have just gone back in the 80s, 70s or 80s. And
it would have
just done
ended
that.
then.
Yeah, they would have just done that. I mean, honestly, the James Bond is kind of dead, and that's the only thing I didn't like about this movie was that this franchise feels like it should die.
Yeah, and
I feel like they should have just ended it.
And I hear you on that, and it's just got such a big following, and that's the biggest thing with almost any movie franchise is the nostalgia. The fact that it's made it this far is pretty cool.
Yeah,
but,
it started what, 2007, 2008.
well, Daniel Craig 2006, but before that, it's you got. I guess what was the first
Pierce
one?
Brosnan was the first one.
No,
Not first one.
Sean Connery, then Roger Moore, then Brosnan, then Daniel Craig.
No, it wasn't. Not Roger Moore. There was another one in between that.
Was there?
No, another one between Sean Connery and Roger Moore.
He did only like one or two, I think. And I swear that's all of them.
No, there's someone
I
else.
have my phone. I was like, I can't type on the keyboard.
I don't remember his name. There's like 6 James Bonds. There's like the TV show one. There's the movie one. The movie ones. So those are like 5, and I think there's like a total of
Timothy
6,
Dalton.
Timothy Dalton. Yeah, that one.
God.
Isn't that the guy? Oh yeah, never mind. Yeah. James Bond's dead. They should have just ended it. I get that people like it, like especially the ones in like 60s.
Yeah,
you know,
so it's
50
Sean
to
Connery,
60-year-olds.
David Niven, George Lazenby, Roger Moore, Timothy Dalton, Pierce Brosnan.
I see, however, why people would be like, they kind of ruined the formula.
I hear you.
But it's a different age, man.
Yeah, and it's not even like the wokeness. It's
in time.
You've got to kind of keep stuff fresh. This is like 27th movie. Like,
if you want James Bond to be more like a spy, you should just watch Mission Impossible. That's more of a James Bond movie than this. Because honestly, like, this felt like Mission Impossible just with Daniel Craig and a James Bond title.
Yeah, a little bit. I would agree. And I think that's why I like that. I was like, this reminds me a lot of Fallout, and I loved Fallout, but I thought this was like either on par or a little bit better. So
the fandom for these movies are just ridiculously stupid.
I
I'm sorry,
agree.
you guys are dumb.
And we'll probably get more into that, but let's talk spoilers. So spoiler alert, I'd say the biggest thing. Spoiler 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. He dies at the end. That's never happened.
No,
I mean, he's died. Yeah, but like I love, like we were just talking, it's a new age, and like it's the end of Daniel Craig. It was emotional. I'm not heavily invested in this, but I was like, oh wow, this is emotional. Like this is an emotional moment. But some people didn't like that, but I did. So
yeah, I don't understand why you wouldn't like it. I mean, it's his last hurrah. What do you want him to do?
yeah, and it's also
retire
like
again.
Such a cool. I don't know. I feel like you could even like theorize it about it too. It's like, because at the end, the actress, what was her name?
Léa Seydoux.
Léa Seydoux.
Yeah.
Yeah, she like tells the daughter like, oh, let me tell you a story about a man. And I'm like, well, you could go off of that, and she's just telling stories of Sean Connery, of Brosnan. She could tell those stories, because it's always been like, what is James Bond? Is it just the title? Is it like just the 007, and like what's the continuity there?
Yeah.
So that's always cool. And I guess another big spoiler is he has a daughter. We already kind of touched on that, and that's another new thing. But of course, also, if anyone gets mad at that, that's dumb. Like, dude sleeps around. He's gonna have a kid at some point.
He's gonna have a kid.
He's gonna have
Unless
this kid.
he had like a vasectomy or some shit like that.
Which I don't know. You could kind of be like,
have.
yeah.
I love that they just killed off like what's his name, Christoph Waltz.
Oh
And
yeah.
like the beginning of the movie, they're like, "Oh yeah, Spectre
Well, I
still
like
alive," and then they just killed him.
I did
like
like that. I'm like, they wrapped up Spectre. It's like
Yeah.
they're not the issue in this movie. They're,
Yeah.
they're here, but nope, not anymore. And so I want to talk about Rami Malek, like the villain. So that was like a pro and a con. At the beginning, or when we first see him, like I knew he was the villain. I was like, okay, he seems kind of weak. I don't really like it. But how they wrap it up, I just loved. I'm like, he made it so he literally cannot see the love of his life and his daughter ever again because of the virus they had created. I'm like, that's some fucked up shit. That's messed up. That's a great villain.
I think that was just a good writing.
Yeah.
I don't know about Rami Malek.
Not
I didn't
specifically
like him.
his performance. I'm just talking about the
Yeah.
villain itself. So yes, the writing would be more.
It was very much like what's his name, the one with the James Bond surfing. What is that one? Die Another Day.
Die Another Day, yeah.
Yeah.
He's
That's all that reminds me of.
He's very quiet and like soft spoken and like this soft like character, but like the fact he did that, I'm like, that's messed up and I love it. And I'm like, that's
a good way to do it.
And also just how they wrap it up too. Like he dies and he's like, I'm not gonna really try almost because I can't have what I want most in this world that makes me feel like the love of my life anymore. I don't want to really live like so.
That did kind of the movie did kind of predict it at the beginning though, so it kind of did
Yeah.
become a little It kind of became a little predictable. I mean, I was already like concerned about the movie's plot in general.
Mhm.
But when they started talking, or when Q started saying like, "Oh, it's non-reversible, you
Yeah.
can't get rid of it,"
They said it
forever.
well, and I would kind of say they set it up well. I mean, whether it was predictable or not, they did set it up. So it's
Fair.
and there's a give and take there. I would agree though.
Yeah. Rami Malek though, I think he was underused,
Agreed.
underutilized. I feel like they could have done more. He just felt like a whiny rich kid more
He
than
did.
anything. He was just kind of like,
But I
they
also
killed my
like
dad.
yeah, I also like his influences though. He's like, I want his girl, and either I'm gonna have her or you're not gonna have her at all. So it's even more to the layers of that stuff. So again, the right.
This is why I would like James Bond to be a TV series or
Mhm.
something like that, because I would love to see a more developed villain
That
character from
because
James
it's
Bond
always
films.
like a villain, a movie, and
Yeah,
like it doesn't.
Look, if you look at like especially Rami Malek's like his backstory, I think it's intriguing enough.
Mhm.
Especially since it's like a kind of spy thing, where it's like basically MI6 killed a family or some shit like
Yeah.
that, right? Like something like that. I think that would have been interesting to watch as a series where it gives like a backstory of his past, and
Well,
it
I
just
mean-
tells you. They should just keep doing. They should just stop with the movies and do TV.
I don't know about
shows.
stop with the movies. I understand like a TV show, but that I mean Amazon owns them now, MGM. So
I would love to see a TV show.
I would too. It's definitely something I would watch.
especially with Idris Elba.
But let's move on. I think we've talked big spoiler stuff, plot, whatever. But Daniel Craig, the Bond legacy and stuff, and like who do you think's the next Bond? I think Daniel Craig did great. I think he's got
He's got the charisma. He looks really old though.
he does, but
Some
he's still fit as hell, which is
He is.
I think this was one of the biggest gaps in age between a Bond girl and Bond though. She's like 20 something and he's 50 something.
No, she's like 30.
I think she's like 26.
Yes, they do.
I'm pretty sure. I think I read that somewhere.
Assuming that she's like 30, because she has a child 5 years later.
Yeah, that's
I
fair.
mean, so, yeah. Next Bond, I wanna see Idris Elba. Not because of woke or anything like that. It's just because
He'd be
he
great.
could pull it off.
He'd be great.
And he'd be funny. He'd bring a little bit of comedy.
Wait, I didn't know that was girl from
Blue is the warmest color.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I do.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And she's 36, my bad.
Yeah.
Wait,
that's what I
no,
thought.
15. Yeah, she's 36, my bad.
Yeah. She does look young.
She does. She
Yeah.
does. So Idris Elba, I would love. I don't think Tom Hardy was kind of the pick. I remember rumors like he was almost confirmed. I don't want Tom Hardy. I'm sorry, but I want Tom Hiddleston personally. Don't think it'll happen, but otherwise, definitely Idris. I'm with you on that. It'd just be cool to see.
Just do something different.
Yeah.
Stop with the like secret agent shit. I guess we'll keep the secret agent shit. But what I'm saying is, stop with the whole like James Bond with this much charisma and this much women, and actually do something fun with the character, not just comply with the audience with
the formula.
hard dicks
Yeah.
or erections. I don't know. just do something different with James Bond. Make him more personable, human almost, and not just like this unstoppable.
And I feel like
force.
they did that a little on this. I mean,
make it for this generation. Don't make it for the old generation.
Yeah.
Like,
and again,
that generation already killed our planet. Why would you want to care about killing James Bond?
And I think they kind of leaned into it here, and I'm glad they did because it is Daniel Craig's last one. I think overall he's got what? So 5 movies, and 3 of them are really, really good. I think they're great movies. I mean, Quantum and Spectre, haven't seen it, just heard it's bad. But I mean, 3 for 5, that's pretty good. I'll give it to him. And then we already hit reviews. I think it's stupid people saying that it's too woke, or that they messed with the formula. Get over yourself. It's a movie. It's
You're
gonna
60. Shut the hell up.
Yeah. Okay. Also, I saw a review. A guy said that he was like 14. He was like, "This is my first review on here. I don't get why they messed." I'm like, dude.
No 14-year-old will say I'm 14.
I'm like, you are
on a review.
You were 12 when Spectre came out, and like, they're like, no, you were what? If he was 14, he was.
There's no way.
Oh my god, he wasn't even born when the first one came out. I don't want to hear it.
That's a 50-year-old dude probably.
Probably wanting to be a 14-year-old. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
So
I think it's fair that they're making reviews, but at the same time, it's kind of stupid that you're making reviews.
No, it's not necessarily what they're saying that gets me mad, because I understand the difference of opinions of how you feel about certain characters. It's the fact you give it a 1 out of 10. I'm like, you did not feel that harshly about it. Get over yourself. Like, it's I like this, and this, but this ruined it. 1 out of 10. I'm like, you're dumb. And maybe that's just because we do this, and we actually kind of have to think about what we're gonna give a movie like out of 10. But I'm like, it's stupid. So
I think it's just so far. I don't know. I have a feeling that people just got mad because it's his last or something like that.
And I get it.
Maybe it's like because they did something new with James Bond.
Yeah.
Which is really stupid that you'd complain about that, because if you do want the same regurgitated stuff, just keep watching the old ones and then just come back to this one.
There's honestly, literally 20 plus other ones. Go watch Dr. No and Goldfinger 10 times if you want them.
This is not a franchise that you should be someone's dead body for. It's not like a franchise that will just, I don't know. It's a franchise that will die probably really soon if they don't do something new. And it's better to do something new than have it to die. So
it's just excuse me. It just amazes me. I read those reviews probably for an hour, because I was like, I can't believe these people are so close-sided of I don't know, movies in general. So that just astounded me, and I thought that was really interesting. I haven't seen a movie. I've seen movies get review bombed, but not like that. They were so passionate. It's not like I hate Brie Larson and Captain Marvel, or Snyder Cut sucks or whatever. They messed with my favorite character of all time. I'm not watching another Bond movie ever again. I'm like, what? You're bullshitting, for one. I'm getting so heated. But
go for it.
It's so dumb. Oh, it makes me so mad.
I mean, I wouldn't oppose to a James Bond back in KGB shit, but at the same time,
I would love to see.
It's a dead character. No one gives a shit anymore.
Well, you know what would be kind of cool? And you take, say, Idris Elba, you de-age him a bit, and you do an old KGB, and then he gets older, and we work almost through decades of time with this character.
I think the only thing I really want from James Bond is a Logan style.
That would be kind of cool.
Yeah, James Bond, where he's actually shooting people, actually killing them, and not just movie kill them where they
also an R-rated.
Yeah. We just want that kind of James Bond.
I will say, this is another pro. Great gun action in this. Some of the action scenes in the beginning are some of, I think, the best of Daniel Craig's. Probably the best in the series, since it's newer and it feels good. That car chase, the the gunfight near the end and like is good. Before we get to our rating, let's since it's Daniel Craig's last one, let's rate them all out like 1 to 5 or whatever. Since I haven't seen Spectre, I'll give it a pass. But I'm gonna say Quantum of Solace and Spectre are probably both on the bottom, whatever order, give or take. I'm gonna say
Casino Royale is definitely my favorite. It was one of those movies that
I
didn't
know.
feel like a James Bond movie, because when I first watched it, it was actually in the Philippines. When I first watched it, someone told me it was like a James Bond, and the only James Bond I could remember was Sean Connery, because we had DVDs of him, and what's his name, Pierce Brosnan, those James Bond. And so when they told me this was a James Bond movie, I thought that's kind of ridiculous because it's really yellow.
It is.
So it's like
Casino is very.
yeah. So I was like, yeah, that's really cool. And then when I rewatched it at an older age, when I was like in high school, I thought it was really neat that they did that with James Bond, and I was really hoping this is what this was gonna be.
That's fair.
'Cause, like,
it's still, I think Casino's the highest rated one out of all of them.
Yeah.
So I think it's been a while since I watched Casino, but I'm gonna give Casino no, I'm gonna say No Time to Die is 3. I'm being humble because like I would say it's number 1, but I'm still high off the movie right now.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say No Time to Die 3, then Casino, and then Skyfall. Skyfall's, I just love it. It just feels, Skyfall is probably my favorite Bond. So that's
I watched Skyfall recently.
a little bias.
Yeah, it's definitely better than those two. So I'd probably give it a third. This No Time to Die though is probably up to second. It's either second or third. 'Cause,
Yeah,
like,
I honestly think it's hard to rank them. I think Casino, No Time to Die, and Skyfall are all kind of interchangeable for different reasons.
Yeah. Yeah.
So because also like Mads Mikkelsen's Casino, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, great villain, great. But yeah, that's our rankings.
I think Eva Green was in that too.
I think so.
That's the lady that he went to the cemetery for.
Yeah. She was Casino. But yeah, that's our. Well, we got to get a rating out of 10. So critical out of 10 win. What do you say for No Time to Die?
Out of 10 critically, I'd probably give this around a 6.
Okay.
Enjoyment wise, I'd probably give it a 9 or a 10, because those people, the haters, you can go fuck yourself. You guys are so old school. Just get the hell out of here.
Yeah. Yeah. The difference in this is like so I'm gonna say, let me look at our older ones because I want to stay. I think I'm gonna say an 8. I don't know. Well, okay. So I gave Shang-Chi a 7.5. It's better than Shang-Chi. It's on I gave Blue Bayou an 8, and I think they're different type of movies, but like similar. And then enjoyment, I'm gonna say 10. It's good.
You know how different this James Bond was? I told my dad what happened, and he's read the books, and he's a fan, but he's not like a crazed fan or anything, but he respects the franchise. When I told him like, oh yeah, he has a kid, he was like, oh wow, that's really different. That's something nice.
Yeah, completely.
From
Yeah,
James
change.
Bond.
Yeah.
So I mean, just please do something like that. Just do something different. People complaining about how like it changed the formula. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, and also just just to kind of, I feel like I have to justify my rating a little because it is really high. I honestly think this is in my top 5 movies of the year.
Jesus Christ.
You know what?
Jesus.
Shut up.
No, all I'm saying is damn.
I don't know. Like it's a sentimental part because it's like it's his last one. It's a good story. It's long. There's a lot of good things that has going for me personally. So, because I was thinking about it and I'm like, Wrath of Man would be up there, but I think this knocked Wrath of Man out for like the 5th spot.
Yeah, that's our review. I don't know how to counteract with that. I don't really like the James Bond movies anymore, just because
I get it. I do.
It's just.
I think there's a lot. Maybe in a couple weeks or like a month, I'll feel differently. But like, I'm riding the high on this movie because it's my first Bond movie in theaters as well. So there's a lot. It, like I said, has going. So I'm excited to see what TJ has to say about it. Well, we might because he's a big Bond fan, and I'm intrigued because I told him like people are saying, oh, it's too woke, and he kind of it's had the same sentiments we do. So I think I'll like it. We'll see though. We'll see. I'm excited. I think he's going to see it like on Sunday. And I told him whenever you go see it, tell me because I want to go.
James Bond's dead. Just kill him off, please.
They did win.
They did, but they're probably planning the next franchise.
They already are, man. I think they said they want to have a Bond decided by next year.
Do a series.
Maybe
that'll bring me to the character.
You just like TV shows. I
do and I don't. But in the case of James Bond, which was based on books and based on the Russian spy era,
like I always agree with you. And yes, it could be a TV show. I mean, but I don't know.
there's this TV show called Killing Eve. It's basically the same, except it's a female comedy.
Sandra Oh.
Kind of, yeah, Sandra Oh and what's her, Jodie Comer or whatever her name is. It's already kind of like that. I want that kind of thing for James Bond. I want James Bond to be like actually someone likable, not just.
That's also like people are bashing the humor. I'm like, you can't just fucking serious. Like I fuck women, I drive cool cars.
Although, if you do take into consideration that they do take themselves seriously
I
for
know.
this movie, adding comedy does kind of. I just alleviate the movie more.
It wasn't even like, but it wasn't. I don't know. I didn't find it that distracting or anything. But anyways, that's our big feature.
It wasn't distracting. I don't think it was.
I thought they were good little moments. Because again, it's his last one. Okay, though, that's it. Our rating. We did that. But anyways, that's been our big feature film podcast for the week on No Time to Die. Thank you as always for watching. Comment, subscribe, and subscribe. 200 subscribers by the end of the year. I'm gonna shave my head.
Yep.
Anyways, thank y'all for watching.
On video.
We love movies. We love y'all, and we'll see y'all in the next one. We're back in business.
Yeah, maybe.
We should be. What do you mean, maybe?
Well, you should be writing.
I'm working on it, dude. After this weekend, we're gonna announce stuff on weekly. I don't know when this is coming out, so.
Probably next week.
Anyways, thank y'all for watching. Bye. Love you.
Bye.